Hey, everybody, welcome to the premiere episode of the Retro Wrestling Review Power Pro Wrestling Podcast. I'm your host, Gene Jackson, coming to you from the Retro Wrestling Archive in Gadsden, Alabama. Of course, we got producer Smokey behind the scenes helping push the buttons and make everything happen here, but it also can't happen without my co-host. So first up, let me introduce he's a guy who is the co-host of Beyond Wrestling and very soon Beyond the Booth here at Jackson Media Creations. He's my partner on the Continental Review podcast. He's Robbie Class. Class, that's his nickname some people have given him, and that's a Continental joke reference to our Continental show. If you don't get that, go check out our Continental show. But right now, let's welcome the co-host, Mr. Rob Helt. Rob, welcome.
Hello, Gene. Finally, after a couple months, 3 months, 4 months, whatever, of planning, we are finally here. I've been excited for this. This is all new to me, and I'm ready to go. I watched the show last night, so I'm ready to go, man. I'm ready to go. How are you doing today?
I'm good, man. I'm fired up. There's a lot of people who have been messaging all of us that they're looking forward to this show and asking questions and things. And so I'm happy that we're here. We're streaming on Saturday morning at 11 a.m., just like Power Pro used to air on television at that same time frame. And as you're watching this, if you're watching it on the day it drops, on the 18th, 28 years since the first airing of the initial Power Pro show.
It's hard to believe that, right? It's hard to believe 28 years ago, and we're still talking about it.
Well, here's somebody that can probably believe it, because he's been around for a little more than 28 years himself. Here he is. He's our other co-host. He's and this may be blasphemous to use this gimmick on this show in particular. I mean, we make it a cease and desist, but for right now, he's still the owner, founder, and president of STSpod.club. He's also allegedly Jonesboro, Arkansas's favorite current resident. It's BT, Brian Trammell. BT, welcome.
Hey, guys. Hey, Jonesboro's baby boy. You forget about that, Gene. That's me. Believe it or not, hey, Rob and Gene, y'all I don't even have an intro for y'all yet. That's how new this is. I don't have sponsors. I don't have intros. I don't have nothing. I tell you what, Power Pro was at the time something that I was so excited about when they debuted. And I mentioned this before we started recording. Me and you and Rob was talking. I don't remember anything. I watched this first show, and that's the only thing. I'm not going to watch in advance. There's some things that I remember. I remember some of the people being on the show, but I don't remember how the angles flowed. And then at one time I had quit watching it. So I'm excited week by week. And we're talking about almost a 4-year project here. And this is day one. So right on the anniversary of the show.
Yeah. So I remember being excited this was coming out back in 98 too, because it wasn't that long before this that we kind of witnessed the slow, painful death of the USWA. Because I mean, it ended in September of 97, but it had been on life support for, I don't know, in my mind, like middle of 96, things were really starting downhill. And there at the end, it was just absolutely at a free fall. Of course, now when this rolls around in April of 98, the litigation is still going hot and heavy over on the the remnants of the USWA. And I've mentioned it before, but Rob, we're going to get together and do an episode about that whole USWA thing, because he's got a lot more insight into the legal aspects of it and the documents and all the aliases of Mr. Burton and all that good stuff. But we're not here to talk about the end of the USWA. We're here to talk about the beginning of Power Pro Wrestling. So episode 1, Randy Hales. This is his baby here. He is the one who has started this promotion. There was always a lot of speculation. Oh, we think Lawler's, bought into it. We think Dave Brown owns part of it. But by all accounts, this is Randy's baby here, so to speak. So I want to go back. I want to show people this is exactly how, if you sat down on Saturday morning, April 18th, 1998, this is how the very first episode of Power Pro Wrestling began.
Tennessee, known worldwide for the beautiful sights of the Mississippi River, for being known as the birthplace of the blues and Beale Street, and for being the home of the king of rock and roll, Elvis Presley. For 50 years, Memphis has been the professional wrestling capital of the world. And now, it's with great pleasure that we welcome you to the very first edition of TV5 Power Pro Wrestling.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, yeah. Hello, everybody. Dave Brown with Corey Macklin. We are live in the studios of WMC TV5 with Power Pro Wrestling, and it's underway. Corey, great action lined up for Power Pro Wrestling's inaugural event here today.
Oh, my goodness, Brother Dave. Let me tell you, if you have not called a friend, pick up the phone and tell them right now to tune in to TV5 Power Pro Wrestling right here today in our studio for the very first time. We're going to see the Universal Heartthrob, Austin Idol. He is going to be right here today as we are live right here in the studios of TV5. Billy Joe Travis, hopefully he won't do a concert today.
Oh, I hope not.
He's always unpredictable, but he's going to be here. We got a Young Guns 8-man tag team match as well. It is going to be a biggie, Dave.
And that's not all. Everybody's wanted to be a part of Power Pro Wrestling today. Interesting situation yesterday with Brian Christopher. I'll show you that a little bit later on. And it's coming. It's coming. Get ready. The final confrontation. Jerry the King Lawler, superstar Bill Dundee, all over the world. They've had this feud for years and years. Final confrontation today on Power Pro Wrestling.
Corey McLean, huh?
There he is, Corey McLean. Our first graphic ever on the show, and it's got a name misspelled, but that's
Could you imagine Corey saying right now, how did you get my name wrong?
Oh, I bet he was hot when he found out about it.
Oh, my God.
Because
in there.
He's as Corey as ever right here in this beginning. He is really projecting. Austin Idol is in there. Like, I'm so excited. If for nothing else, I'm so excited that each and every week we're going to have Corey Macklin here to listen to him put over all the stuff that's going on. I don't know if anybody else caught this. If any of my friends from Mississippi or people who are watching the current Memphis wrestling, he's not going to like this. BT's going to pick this up, though. There's Hollywood Jimmy in the front row throwing.
Yeah, I made a note of that. Yep. Sure enough.
And then you got the girl.
Tia, that's his daughter.
Is that his daughter with her? She's got her Marilyn Manson T-shirt on there.
No, she does not. You take another look at that. That is her Hanson T-shirt, sir.
Hanson. Oh, okay. All right.
Foremost #1 fan of Hanson back in the day.
Yep.
So there we go. We're off and running. Opening match, first ever match to ever take place on Power Pro Wrestling. Talking about the Spellbinder and Paul Diamond. There's Paul Diamond looking a little different than the last time we had seen him from Thunder Bay. And Spellbinder's looking a little bit different than the last time we had seen him as well. And so this first show is going to be a little clip heavy because I just want to kind of establish some things. So let's take a look at a short clip from this opening match, and then we'll kind of get a feel from you guys what you're thinking so far.
Underway. Power Pro Wrestling.
Power Pro
Right
Wrestling,
here today.
and you're looking at its first winner right here.
Well, there's a few comments from Paul Diamond. He just said that you're looking at the very first match on TV5 Power Pro Wrestling, and you're looking at this. Takes Paul Diamond down again. A little momentum from the Spellbinder. Oh, and just when I thought he had momentum going, Diamond throws him right down on that concrete floor, Dave.
Down on the floor is the Spellbinder. Diamond's back on his feet. Referee Joe Wheeler asking him to stay back while he can. Oh, look out, Diamond out of the ring.
Oh, look at this. Diamond!
Whoa.
Oh, right on the concrete floor.
Dangerous territory down there near the crowd, and also the steps of
That 8-man tag team match coming up today, and also we are going to see live right here today in the studios, first time, the Universal Heartthrob Austin Idol. We'll be here. Look at this sunset flip.
Took
He
him
may
down.
have him too.
Got a 2 count.
That's all he got out of it.
Very close again. Each wrestler very close. Hey, small package.
Look
1,
at that.
2.
He got
it. Spellbinder gets the win.
1, 2, 3.
Paul Diamond hit him with that flying teabag in there out there on the floor. That didn't go the way they planned, I don't think.
All I can think
No.
of, I can just see Spellbinder in there calling spots to him, going, "Paul Diamond, I'm going to make you a man. I'm going to cut your hair." The whole Joe LeDuc, Paul Diamond thing. So,
Yeah.
Dude, yeah, okay. There was a lot of, like, they both looked so lumbering here. Do you think there were some nerves going out into this first show? I mean, they'd both been wrestling a long time. I mean,
Yeah, especially Diamond had been around for probably 12, 13 years at least at this point. I don't know. Probably an awkward pairing as far as like how they're used to working. And it seems like to me that maybe there had been some discussion of like, hey, we're not going to do the old Memphis style. Like, this is TV. This is a TV product. We need to, get with the times a little bit in our wrestling. What's your take on that, BT?
I really liked the match. I liked the way it looked. The ring looked, because it was a new look for us here, and the crowd was loud, crazy crowd. Diamond looked like he had just been out drinking the night before, like
Right.
really bad. Like, oh man, you mean I got to work? And the referee was Aubrey Wayne was the ref, I believe. That is Ken Wayne's nephew. And there's another ref during this that I thought do you know who that is? There's things that I saw here, and I don't remember the other ref.
I can't think of his name. Like, I remember him being a referee in this period and even seen him on other shows around the area, but I can't for the life of me come up with his name.
But I feel like you do. I feel like it was one of those things backstage, go out, show out, have a good time. This is the first match of this promotion. I had no problem with it. It was really fun for me.
Well, and then to end it with a small package too, right? You ended it very basic.
One thing that I realized going into this when I sat and watched this show, that differs from, over at the USWA, we watched all of 93 and we're more than halfway through 91. And that show is just a commercial for the Monday night card every week. The matches, you can tell, to them are inconsequential. They're just a means to an end to get you to buy a ticket for Monday night. And we have not seen a lot of good wrestling on TV in the studio matches. And when we do, it's so few and far between, we kind of like mark out for it. Like, whoa, that was great. But somebody else watching it might go, it wasn't that great. Like, well, compared to the other stuff we've watched, it is. It didn't have a run in. It had a finish. So that was something that stood out to me too here is like, all right, they're wrestling a bit of a different style than what Memphis fans are used to. There's no run in. We get a clean finish. We've got a very defined heel and baby face here. And essentially Power Pro was going to be, for all intents and purposes, a TV product. It wasn't, we're not going to promote, Monday night. We're not going to be at the Coliseum. Now you're going to see throughout the show, hey, we're going to be at the casino, and we're going to be in Ripley, and we're going to be in a lot of these old haunts that Memphis wrestling went to. But this show is not built around, building up one card a week. And that's something I'm excited about, is watching matches that actually have some stakes and like, hey, they're wanting to put on a good match. We want to see, some clean finishes. And I think that'll take away some of the monotony that we experience on the USWA side. We see a lot of good promos, we see good angles, but we don't see a lot of good matches.
Right.
BT, at this point in time, BT, did they know what a loop was going to be, or were they going to try to do the same loop as what they had before, or what was the deal there?
I'm
BT?
not sure what was going on in Randy's mind at this time, but they did. And I made note of this. You saying it, I was real impressed with all of a sudden, this is a brand new first day promotion, and they already booked all these towns. I even have results for a town in March before the TV show that was listed as Power Pro Wrestling, but they had Lady Luck, they had Humboldt, they had Kennett, Crenshaw, Ripley, all these, like Gene said, USWA towns that they Memphis Wrestling, whatever. But whether he wanted a loop or get a loop, I'm not sure. I don't know if we're going to see that happen. I do know, Jonesboro right here was very popular for Power Pro Wrestling, and we'll see that thrown in as Gene said, they don't promote just one single show, but some of the shows coming up, and Gene remember this, are bigger shows, and they'll start promoting it like the old school did. But yeah, I don't know if he had that in mind, but he did have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 6 shows already booked. I was real impressed with that.
They weren't going to have the loop as far as what you hear referred to in the past, because everything he just named off are spot shows that typically had a local promoter doing those shows. The loop was Evansville, Louisville, Nashville, and the big towns. Those were shows they ran in every single week, just like they did Memphis on Monday. They did Nashville on Saturday. They did Louisville on, I think it was Wednesday. I think Evansville was Tuesday. Or
Louisville Tuesday, Evansville Wednesday.
And we've talked about this with Doug and Randy Hales on Doug's show when he came on. Like, for us, most of us fans, this was Memphis wrestling is what CWA and USWA was. But in Louisville, it was Louisville wrestling. They ain't know shit about Memphis. Didn't care about Memphis. And it was like that in Evansville and the different towns. Well, if you'll notice, this is branded TV5 Memphis Power Pro Wrestling. This isn't getting chopped up. This isn't going around to other cities to promote a weekly show. This is just little spot shows that Memphis Power Pro Wrestling is going to be doing. So it's a different animal.
There's no bicycle here then.
No, this ain't a territory.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay. See, I didn't know that, because I was assuming, how I'm assuming this. I'm watching the first show. I'm assuming this is going to be just like, Memphis was. They're going to go to Louisville. They're going to go to Evansville, Nashville, and all that. So, wow, I just got smartened up on that gig.
Yeah, this isn't a territory. And Randy was the promoter. He would go into these towns, and I mean, we talk about Bert Prentice on the other show, but Randy was an excellent promoter, going into the towns, making sure the posters were up, or sending someone to make sure the posters were up. When you go to a town for, and this Lady Luck, if I remember correctly, Kevin Lawler helped get that. So that's the kind of stuff that Randy was doing that, that Jerry Jarrett might not be doing, but Randy was working his ass off to get this Power Pro up and going.
Bring his brains out. That's what he was doing.
Yep, that's right.
From my understanding, Jerry and I'm sure Kevin probably had a hand in that, but they had been running Lady Luck from after time USWA died. They had been running Lady Luck, because in the thing I read, and it's probably the same thing you read too, BT. They said Power Pro had a show at the casino, and it named off who all was there in the match, and it said the same crew that's been working there this entire time for Lawler. So
yeah, I just remembered. I didn't see that, but yeah, my memory is. And then Kevin went back a couple of times recently, like in the last 5 years, to do Lady Luck, I think, one of the casinos.
BT, yeah. Are you writing your sheet at this time? Are you writing your newsletter in 98?
98.
When this came out, were you writing?
No, not at all. Not at all. No,
all right.
No.
So,
all right.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to
finish your thought, because we're moving on.
So for you, you were watching it as a fan. You weren't commenting or doing
nothing. Nothing.
Okay.
I was, I was working. If I remember correctly, the years, I was going to look up my resume here before we got started, but I was working at a factory at this time, and we were all watching Raw. We was watching Power Pro, and we'd come back, the next Monday and talk about Power Pro. But a lot of the guys that I worked with was watching this because it was a local Memphis wrestling's back kind of thing at the factory. So,
got it.
All right. Well, next up, we'll get to hear from the man of the hour. Let's check out a few of the things Randy had to say about his new endeavor here.
We step on a balloon and it goes off. That's all it is. Don't worry.
This is almost too much, Dave. I'm telling you, everybody, I'm happy, I'm excited, I'm fired up, I'm as nervous as I can be, and to tell you the truth, I'm a little bit emotional here today. I want to say this. I think we're fortunate people. Memphis, Tennessee in the Mid-South is the greatest place in the world to live. The greatest place in the world to live. And I want to tell you, I've followed professional wrestling all my life. And this Memphis Power Pro Wrestling, TV5 Power Pro Wrestling, from the bottom of my heart, we're going to do, every person here, still going to do everything in our power to make Memphis TV5 Power Pro Wrestling the greatest wrestling television program in the country. Memphis, Tennessee, this is going to be a wrestling promotion that you're proud of. A wrestling promotion for Memphis, Tennessee that's local. I've stood up and I promise you the greatest wrestling possible. Everybody, thank you very much. Here today.
Thank you, Randy Hale.
Well, Blaylock's getting some TV time here, BT. First
Wasn't
of
that
all,
your manager? Wasn't Blaylock your manager?
Yeah,
Gene, at
yeah,
Memphis
yeah,
Monroe?
absolutely was. So Rob, you lived in Memphis, Tennessee for a time.
Mhm.
Is it the greatest place in the world to live? I'm gonna call bullshit on that one, Randy.
I'm going to be honest with you. When we left Memphis to move to our house that we're in right now, which you're in my beautiful garage right now, my studio's having some stuff done in it today. But when we moved to Dallas from Memphis, my wife cried when we left because we were leaving Memphis. And she absolutely loved Memphis. I loved Memphis. Do I think it was the greatest place to live? Absolutely not. You've got a 1 in 5 chance of probably getting shot. And so it's a very dangerous city, very rough city, but we lived on Mud Island. So we were out on the island, so we didn't really have that. But if you like blues, if you like barbecue, and if you like wrestling, Memphis is definitely a great place. Back then.
Yeah. My wife cried when we left there, but that's just because somebody had knocked our window out and stole it.
There it is. There it is. There it is. Is Randy? So Randy just went back to what you alluded to earlier, Gene. He said, Power Pro Wrestling, this TV5 Power Pro Wrestling. Do you think that's what TV5 was paying for? Was you put our name out there and blah blah blah, or is it true what Randy told me, which was that this was a co-ownership between TV5 and himself?
That's true, because it's well documented, not just from Randy and his book, but other people have talked about it. And I know Dave Meltzer talked about it in the sheets back then, that by this point in 98, but way before this, it was to the point now that most wrestling promoters couldn't even barter with a TV station. It was paid programming. You were just paying to have your show on. TV5 was paying $1,500 a week for this show, plus they were producing it for free.
Right.
Because wrestling had meant so much to Memphis. It had always been one of their highest rated programs. It was important to them to have it back on, have it live, have it in the studio. And so, yeah, that's all true. That this is definitely Randy's the owner, but TV5 is definitely an investor, and they have ownership to a lot of that.
So another question I have, just real quick, and I'm sorry guys, I ask these questions and I don't know, they're just stuff I want to know. So where are we? April 18th, 1998. Where are we, BT, in relation to the Monday Night Wars at this point between Raw and
I don't. If you
know,
follow
Gene?
you know my mind is yeah. You guys said the Gene, so
the Monday Night Wars officially kicked off when Monday Nitro debuted in September of 1995.
Okay.
So we're more than a year and a half into that.
But the NWO is still doing their thing at this point. DX is still doing their thing at this point. We see Austin 316 shirts everywhere at this point. Is that about our time frame?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're it's cooled off a little bit. It's not like it was at the height. Like 97 was probably the height of especially the NWO and Sting and all that. And we're kind of easing down the downhill slide of that. But Austin's still over, and at this point is when you could go to the mall and there's freaking Hibbett's Sporting Goods has wrestling t-shirts and DX hats and stuff, which was just, blew my mind. Because I grew up, everybody, if they were wrestling fans, kind of kept it a secret. You go walk around the corner, hey, you like wrestling? Yeah, I like wrestling too. Well, let's talk about what happened, but you don't talk about it in front of everybody type thing. You go to the mall and there's freaking wrestling t-shirts and memorabilia everywhere.
And I'm going to tell all our fans right now, if Gene doesn't get over with you, That hat will get him over. He's got the Krispy Kreme hat going right now, along with what is that shirt you've got on, Gene?
That's the new Power Pro Podcast t-shirt, folks, that you can get over at our store. You can go to retrowrestlingarchive.club, find all of our links there. But yeah, I'm trying to get us a Krispy Kreme sponsorship, just like you were trying to get us a Ryobi sponsorship with that sweet lawnmower.
Yeah.
BT, what are you hawking over there? What are you trying to get
man,
us?
I hate to tell y'all, but it's one of those WWE it's on sale shirt because they were going to have a lawsuit against them. It's the John Cena that looks like Pabst Blue Ribbon t-shirt. I got it for $7.99, and I'm a big Cena mark, so I'm wearing the hell out of that one.
Well, we can't.
Got to get our Power Pro shirts, BT. Notice.
I know. I'm sorry.
Notice the host didn't send us one. See how he does this, BT.
Yeah. Hey, I want to say something about Randy Hales here. This was total shoot. The whole interview, he was so excited, and I love the idea that we do know something, in the sense that we do know he's the owner, blah blah blah. But man, I really did. I mean, he was excited. Loved the whole interview. Excited to see what they do from this.
He got that. Did he get that suit at that Men's Warehouse or whatever?
I bet he did. What
was that place?
He loved the way he looked.
No, what was that place that you got the suits, BT? You were trying to get him as a sponsor.
I can't remember.
Reggie hadn't gotten here yet, so I don't know if anybody's taking him down to. Gosh, I can't think of the name of it.
Yeah, that's it. Somebody tell us in the comments down here, wherever you're watching this. Just tell us what the name of that suit place was. That's where Jeff Jarrett and Robert Fuller went and got their suits. Remember?
Yeah. Imagine Robert Fuller in one of those suits like Reggie B used to come out in. That would be a sight and a half.
By the way, if you didn't know, his name is now officially Reggie B. Trammell. Reggie B. Trammell.
Reggie B. Trammell in there. So next up, we get a pre-tape promo from Mr. Jim Cornette, and he congratulates Randy and the Memphis fans, and he teases a possible return to Memphis if Power Pro was to go to the Mid-South Coliseum. So there you go. We'll have to keep an eye out for a Power Pro show at the Coliseum. That may be some foreshadowing. But right now, he brings out one of the biggest stars in Memphis wrestling history, whether you like him or you don't like him or whatever the case may be.
Gene Jackson's brother.
Oh, my Lord. BT likes Reggie B more than I like Austin Idol, but that's a different show for a different day. Let's hear from him, God forbid.
Watch the hair, darling. Watch the hair.
While he's here to hear from him.
Heartthrob is here today, Austin Idol. Great to have you. There's a lot of excitement when they heard you were going to be here.
You know, Randy Hales came out here and he was giving all these accolades. And he was thanking everybody from the control room and all the staff and everybody. You know who he should have thanked? And only one. And let me give you that's right, the women's pet, the men's regret, the universal heartthrob, just as pretty, sexy, and mean as I have ever been. I'm the only one Randy Hales should have thanked. When he made the telephone call to my estate, he said, Austin, we're starting a whole new project. I want you to be part of it. I want you to be the nucleus. What's it going to take? And he literally gave me a blank check. Now, I know a lot of people talking about Peyton Manning. Where's he going to go number one? Is he going to go number two? And how much he's going to get. I don't care how much Peyton Manning's going to get. It will mean nothing. It will pale and be paltry compared to what I have just received from Memphis Power Pro Wrestling.
Final confrontation.
Who cares?
Yeah, who cares?
Who cares about Dundee and Lawler? Everybody's talking about Dundee and Lawler. Let me enlighten and illuminate everybody about Dundee and Lawler very quickly here. I don't want to waste my time on people who don't mean nothing. Dundee started in Australia, a big suck-up. Came to Tennessee with Jerry Jarrett, a big suck-up. Left here, went to Atlanta, Georgia, a big suck-up. Jerry Lawler, Memphis boy. Jerry Jarrett, a big suck-up. After he sucked up and drained all the milk from the cow here from Jerry Jarrett, then he hopped ship and he went to the WWF with Vince McMahon, and he's been sucking up to Vince McMahon every single day, every single night, and everybody knows it. But when it comes to Austin Idol, I don't suck up to nobody, okay? I do it the way I want to do it. I do it on my own. I don't need nobody else to help me do nothing. And now, yes, new day, new promotion, a whole new deal going down right here. This is history, and I want to make it very clear that now we're going to find out for real who's a top dog in Memphis, because there ain't nobody to suck up to now, Lawler.
So I want to ask you guys this: for your first show on a new live Memphis television show, as far as Memphis itself, is Austin Idol the biggest name Memphis wrestling wise who you could bring on, who hasn't sort of worn out his welcome in the later days of USWA? It's been so long since we've seen him, it's almost fresh again.
BT, go.
I agree. I think he is. The only other people I could think of would be the Fabs. Bring them out. I don't know what they're doing at this point in, in history. But Austin Idol, here's something that, and I was going to ask you, Gene, you might remember more. I don't remember Idol being on television live a lot. So This was a big effing deal because he didn't come on TV. He sent in promos, and here's the Universal Heartthrob is in the studio, and he did it for Randy Hales. He's in here. Also, the other two guys that are more important to be live is Lawler Dundee, and their final, about 100 more matches after this, their final confrontation. But yeah, I mean, he's right there, right on the Mount Rushmore of Memphis wrestling.
Why did Dennis McCord not go to those shows? I'm gonna tell you why. I think, in my opinion, it's because he wasn't getting paid, and so he wasn't going to show up somewhere and do an infomercial for free or do whatever in Memphis wrestling. And then in Power Pro, I think it's, he definitely got paid to be there. I'm sure Randy pulled out the stops, and he's the type of guy he's the type of guy that'd slap his own mother for 50 cents. Now, you both said yes to that about Austin Idol. My answer to that is no, absolutely not. I think you could have brought Dutch Mantel out there and gotten the same effect.
And he would have showed.
You guys disagree with me on that.
But
you disagree. And that just shows that you're, in all of your dislike for Austin Idol, you can still be objective. I don't like him. I don't like him as a worker. He's not very good. He's just not.
I love Austin Idol.
But you love Austin Idol, and so I don't know. I mean, I think I like him here. He's good. He gives a great promo right here. I mean, that's solid.
Dutch had been a lot more accessible to fans. He had been all over the USWA all through the final years. He was on plenty of local shows, local indie shows. Like, Austin Idol was almost like a ghost from the past here. And something I didn't think about back in the day, BT, but it's really been obvious as me and you have been covering 87 over on Patreon. You had this huge angle going on with Idol and Rich against Lawler, and Idol does not step foot in the studio. And I think Rob has it on, nailed it right on the head there, because we saw some of this with the Fabs, who ironically you just mentioned. You didn't get paid for TV back then, and Idol wasn't going to fly into Memphis to do free TV in the studio when he could get done Monday night, record a promo in the back of the Mid-South Coliseum, and
come back the next week. Yep.
And if they want to see me, they got to come pay for it at the Coliseum. I think that's another aspect of it too.
Well, and to be fair, the Austin Idol that I'm coming with, that I already knew him, was, 81, 82 Georgia. That's where I watched him as a little kid, and I just didn't like him there. So that carried over, obviously, and created that bias that's there in my head.
Well, I mean, this has been a whole big discussion recently over on the other show about Jimmy Valiant and all that. And, I can put aside my personal feelings as far as what the reality of something is. And I think, and maybe I'm wrong, people may come blow up the comments and like, oh, hell no, Dutch Mantel would have been way bigger star. It'd been way cooler. But I think so.
Well, I don't think I'm right. I just know that with, like, for instance, I mean, and this is the thing about this show, people that are listening to this, that want to hear three nerds sit here and talk about this shit, is, I'm very proud of BT. BT, I'm very proud of you for what you just did. I know your feelings about Randy Hales. I know Randy's feelings about you, and you just put him over. You just said, hey, man, I'm going to give the devil his due. And, dude, he was excited here. He was pumped up. He was good. I mean, you've set your personal biases aside, and that's the thing I think, Gene, you wanted to do with this show was say,
well,
hey,
I feel like it comes through on television how excited this man is to actually bring. He's not only the promoter, he knows how to promote. Don't get me wrong, but this is Randy Hales, the fan, right there in front of everybody, telling how excited he pursued is to bring out something to back to Channel 5. And he was so excited about being in partnership with Channel 5 and them making money. We'll talk about that money. I got some funny stuff when his other partner comes into Power Pro. We'll talk about the money that they were making and how it was split up and all that kind of stuff. I had some insight on that. So it's kind of fun. Ooh. It's kind of fun.
Awesome. Yeah. I kind of talked about this in that article I put out a couple of weeks ago. Randy, here's the guy who was selling programs as a kid and up to this point has done every job there is to do in wrestling. He's sold programs. He's, ran towns. He's been a booker. He, as Cornette says, he probably popped the popcorn at some point. But here he is. He watched Memphis.
He did pop the popcorn at one time here in Jonesboro. I've seen it many times when him and Eddie Marley ran this town.
And BT said it was too salty, and he's still mad about it.
It was. I'm pissed.
There's the heat. There's the heat right there.
That was to sell you more drinks, BT. It's all part of the work. But anyway. For somebody like Randy to watch Memphis wrestling die right in front of his face on TV like USWA did, to be able to walk out there and be able to say you've more or less single-handedly revived from the dead your beloved promotion, I can see why he would be excited.
Very excited, and it came across legit. That's
anytime you start a new business too, BT, right? I mean, you owned a pizza restaurant. You've been in the restaurant business. You know what it's like to own a business, and at first it is exciting.
Right. I had some friends that did Sonic, and all they did was they worked for Sonic. They went in for the first 3 to 4 weeks, and one of their main things was, it's going to be super busy, blah, 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 but was keeping the morale up. It was real important, not only to get the hamburgers correctly, but, if you worked your ass off for 60 hours a week, it was keeping those managers' morale and the staff's morale up. That was part of their job, and they were very, very good at it. They went all over the United States. That was what they did. That was a married couple that did that.
Well, I need you to give Gene a job because he's getting my morale down. Come on, Dino.
That's what I do. So, hey, if you're going to have Memphis wrestling back on WMC and you want to get everybody fired up about it, well, we've seen Austin Idol. Who else can we see next but the King, Jerry Lawler?
So great, man. I mean, the very first Power Pro Wrestling show. It is. You can't do it without the King, and I'm so glad to be here. And I know, are you people glad to be here, huh? Glad to have everybody here. Oh, yeah. But you know what? This is such a great party atmosphere, and all of a sudden, I see a couple of people out here trying to bring everything down. First of all, you got the Universal Heartthrob, and I'm sure everybody was glad to see him again, right? It was like deja vu. You know what deja vu is? That means I've heard that bull before, pal. I've heard Austin Idol talk about, hey, baby, the Universal Heartthrob, and all the promoters want. Let me tell you something about Austin Idol. Nobody wants Austin Idol. If he had taken off that turtleneck and that coat of his, you'd have seen his body covered with red spots where promoters been touching him with 10-foot poles. You know what I'm talking about? Nobody wants to have anything to do with Austin Idol because he's no-showed more promoters than George Jones. And I'm telling you, Randy Hales, the dumbest move you've ever made was even picking up the phone and calling Austin Idol. Now, the second person that's trying to bring us down is a superstar. Look, he's all serious. He's all mad. Come on, Bill, lighten up.
You know, you got a big match, Jerry. You can't blame him. That's a big match coming up today.
Wait a minute. Come on. Nothing about Bill Dundee is big.
Let's face it. Party, and you know what? You got all the decorations. You got the confetti. You got everything.
Oh, my goodness. We've got...
But what is a party without a cake? These people look like they need a cake. How about a cake? Can we get a cake out of this cake? And I'm going to have everybody out here. Let me hang on to this thing right here. Well, that's a big cake, pal.
That is big.
We're going to have everybody out here get a piece of cake. Have we got something to cut the cake? Did you bring anything to cut the cake with?
No, we need some knives.
Anybody got a
Anybody got any?
I don't want to ask this crowd if anybody's got a knife, but you know what I'm talking about.
I'd like to get a shot of that cake, if you know what I mean. Damn. I think
That's
she was
great
not.
line,
I
Jim.
think she was 19 at the time. I don't know. I'm just kidding.
Is that Stacy?
Yes,
Yeah.
it is.
So I had forgot to mention we had seen a taped promo of Bill Dundee at the gym before this, and he's saying how Lawler doesn't take him seriously, and he's going to have a match with him today. I didn't clip it because it's very similar to something we'll hear here in a few moments. But what the thing that struck me weird, Lawler seems to be working heel here, which is an odd fit. Like, to me, it was always strange when, especially after a certain time period, maybe not back in the 70s, but Dundee's just more of a natural heel personality wise, and even like ring style and everything. And Lawler seems like he would be the natural babyface. So I don't know, everything about this feels kind of odd. I guess there's a reason behind it, but it just feels kind of unnatural, especially kicking off this brand new show and everything. I don't know. What do you guys think about trying to get a heel Lawler over on this new iteration of this wrestling?
He'd already gotten over on Raw by this point. So he'd already gotten over his kind of half heel on Raw. So, you know, any new fans that are coming to Power Pro at that point are probably coming over from the WWF or WCW. So, and it's WWF at the time. They're coming over from that. So they already know Lawler is half a heel. So the thing that I have is he shot right there on Austin Idol about the no-show.
No-show.
What do you think, BT? Do you think they talked about that beforehand?
I don't know. Jerry did what Jerry wanted to do. It was well known.
But if you did it to Jerry, he got hot. I go back to the Jimmy Hart, you know, what do you do with a horse with a broken leg? You shoot him, right? And he got hot about that. So wouldn't you think of him saying, hey, you've got more no-shows than George Jones? Which
That
it was true, though.
Fine.
It was.
And it was a receipt because Austin had been out there shitting on Lawler and Dundee, basically diminishing the
match that
value
they
on
were
the
supposed
show.
to have.
So in return, Lawler comes out like, hey, fuck you. I'm surprised you're even here. You normally no-show. So it wasn't, no, there's no chance in hell he told him beforehand it was coming. He was just giving him a receipt for the shit he said in his promo.
And
So
this, you say healed Lawler, and Rob, you said this too, but it really just felt like, you know, we've always had the Jerry Lawler that we've always had during Memphis Wrestling, and it was like you took the character from the WWE and just put him in here, like they put Gilligan on Gilligan's Island, decided to put him on Dream of Jeannie, and he was the same character. He's not the same, you know, Lawler. This is not Lawler in Memphis. This is Lawler for the WWF, whatever it was at the time. So it was real strange for me. And I remember even back in the day, I thought it was really weird.
Yeah, because in the past, like in '93, you're seeing this asshole Lawler on WWF TV, but he was just normal old babyface Lawler on Memphis TV. It was like two different people, and they really didn't.
But this is the Jerry Lawler plus 10. You know, the way he the whole deal that he does when he's announcing. So I just always thought it was weird.
Is there anybody in wrestling at this time as quick-witted as Jim Cornette and Jerry Lawler? Jerry Lawler is just a comeback, make it up as you go machine. Is anybody that good besides those two? Those two are amazing at that.
Nobody springs to mind.
Because Lawler's quick.
I did notice in this, Lawler has a very underrated Austin Idol impression, by the way. That sounded awesome. I wish we could have got more of that from Lawler, quite honestly. So from there, we go into the Young Guns 8-man tag team match. So, you know, we're going to have this Young Guns division, and this is just an opportunity for you to see as many of them as you can in one fell swoop. So let's take a look at a little bit of highlights from this.
You know, I'm really excited about this Young Guns division of Power Pro Wrestling. Some of the fine young wrestlers. I know that's a very popular thing. People like to see these young wrestlers as they develop and become superstars in the world of wrestling.
And some of these guys, they've got a lot of development to do, like Derek King there. When you go that high, you should have a stewardess with you.
Yeah, the only problem with Derek King, who's in the ring now, that's taking a pounding, is that King apparently doesn't know who he is. He's Mr. He's Mr. Personalities, and the guy has a lot of different personalities. Today, he's dressed like Shawn Michaels in the ring with the
Well, when you're like that, at least that's better than eating alone.
He's up a little bit.
Well, I mean, you know, let's face it. This is the final confrontation. We've wrestled a lot of times. He's never won one match. So even if he were to win this final match, it wouldn't mean anything.
full of the hair.
Yeah, Tony's changed his name. He said he didn't feel like he was being very successful as Tony Williams, so he's now Kid Wicked. He's back in the corner working. He's working him over pretty good.
Tony being pretty aggressive there. I'll tell you what. I like the look. He looks like he's a little spitfire there. I'll tell you, Tony's got a lot of talent, a lot of ability. Got those Shawn Michaels tights on. You think he might try a super kick?
He might.
He just might. Look at this. Look. Oh, look at him. He's going sweet chin music coming up here. Oh, he misses. Oh!
Choke slam by Bronze.
Did not. Personality dumped right over. Have a seat over there, Mr. Personality. Meanwhile, they've got Jason Lee in the ring. Lane Shane and Bobby Braun. 1, 2, 3. Oh, yeah.
All right, Gene, I don't want to step on you here, but I really want Rob to tell us what he thought about this match and the people involved. Is there anybody that stands out?
So I love it. I love Derek King. I love the little making fun of, not making fun of. He was giving an homage to Shawn Michaels is what he was doing. He wasn't making fun of anybody. Let's get that shit straight. I love the whole thing. I love the whole thing. And I'm going to tell you guys something that you don't know. One of my favorite tag teams of all time that I've never mentioned is Chris Champion and Sean Royal when they were the New Breed. I loved them together. And this match reminds me when he does that, gets him up in the suplex, guy comes off, does a crossbody. That was the kind of stuff that they would do. And I really liked it. I liked this match. I like everything about it. And I was going to ask on this, I've got a question, and this is Gene or BT, whoever wants to fly. Remember, at this point in time, this is when all the sheets, and BT, you know the sheets, this is when all the sheets are saying that the old heads, the old guard, are keeping the young guys down in WCW and everywhere else. Nobody's giving the young guys a chance, right? Everybody, they're just keeping them down, This, to me, seems like this is Randy's way of saying, hey, we're going to give the light heavyweights or the young guns, the newer talent, we're going to give them a spotlight of their own to get over and not have the old guys hold them down. I like that. Now, of course, I wouldn't know that at the time of watching it. I would know it now. But what do you guys think about that? Is that what his intention here is? Because these guys they're all pretty good. I like them all. I don't have any criticisms of this match whatsoever.
Go ahead, BT.
Yeah, I think that was what his idea was. He got a bunch of young guys in this area. Jason Lee coming out from the area. I'm not sure who. Do you know? And you can answer this when I get done. Bobby Bronze. I've seen his name spelled a couple of different ways. Don't remember him. I've been on shows or worked backstage with everybody but the Bobby Bronze and the Jason Lee. I don't think I was backstage with Jason Lee. But was Jason Lee and Derek working as a tag team at this time with OVW?
Not yet, but they're going to be shortly. They'll be the Atomic Blondes.
Yeah, and I loved Kid Wicked. I thought that was I always was a fan of the New Kids, and I thought that was great. Blade is a fantastic person, a really solid worker. Yellow Jacket is Kevin Lawler, as everyone knows, and he wore a muscles. He bought muscles for that suit, so it made him look like he had muscles. But yeah, all those guys, you know, if you've watched any of the other shows or listened to me, I'm a huge Sarge O'Reilly fan, worked many many shows with Sarge. He got to do his backdrop, and Derek got to do his backdrop. So loved it. Loved this match.
The first time, so Bobby Bronze, I think, is one of those guys from like the Indiana area, like
Okay.
with Mike Samples. Them, I think. I can't swear to that. I worked a bunch of shows with Lance Jade, Blade, Derek, wrestled those guys quite a few times. Derek, I remember the first time I ever saw Derek, I went to a show in Corinth, right when I was training to get into the business, and I remember watching, and I think that night he came out in his Jeff Jarrett persona. I'm pretty sure. I was like, "What? Who is this guy?" Like, and so I'm in the back row at the back of the room, but all the way from the back row, you could see Derek's teeth as he's just smiling through the whole match. And that was always everybody's biggest criticism, and you can see it here. Watch him on Power Pro. It looks like Derek is laughing his ass off through an entire match.
Always. He's just happy. Yeah, he was just happy, y'all.
But that, I remember three or four spots into that match, the guys, the tag team he was wrestling, shot him in and gave him a backdrop. And he wasn't doing that just for TV, because in the American Legion building in Corinth, Mississippi, he got just as high on that backdrop and screamed like a little girl. That was his gimmick. If he got backdropped or, pressed or anything, he would, do that scream and go through all the building. I thought, man, that guy is going to be somebody. I mean, he's not big as shit, but he's gonna pull it off. And then
why was he not?
Business,
why was he not? Why did he never go in?
His size. He got a bunch of tryouts with WWE. He ended up working for OVW for Cornette. Him and Jason Lee tagged. And if you go watch that old OVW, like, he worked with all the Ortons and Lesnars and Cenas, everybody come through there. Derek worked with them. And like I say, if ever they came to Memphis, he always had a dark match with somebody for Raw, SmackDown, all that. Just that time, you couldn't overcome that size. If Derek would have come around 10 years later, or even like 8 years later, his career could have been something totally different.
The first time I saw Derek was someone had sent me a VHS of some show in a parking lot in Memphis of some of the local guys. And Derek was on the show, and we're talking, this is what, I don't even know how before this it was, but he was even smaller at the time. I mean, he was tiny. And there was all kinds of rumors about Derek going on at this time, that he was rich and he didn't have to have a real job, and his mother gave him tons. I mean, all kinds of fun stuff about Derek. But I had not met Derek at this point, but later on would work with him and do stuff. So yeah, fun stuff. Fun to see kind of I love the Young Gun stuff. So
yeah. I agree with what y'all said. I think Young Gun, like at the time, like prior to this and during this, the cruiserweight division was a huge thing for WCW. Like, people tuned in for the NWO, but the action was where the cruiserweights wrestled. And I think this was just his way of branding that division rather than calling them cruiserweights, which, because a lot of them guys weren't, Sarge O'Reilly wasn't necessarily a cruiserweight.
And he wasn't really a young gun either. But
well, okay, he may be closer to a cruiserweight than a young gun in 98. That's true. Great point there. But I think it was a good way to brand them. We're not just saying, hey, here's the local guys.
Right.
Here's the guys you probably have never heard of. Here's the little guys. So, yeah, I think it's smart, and we'll eventually get a championship for that division, which gives them stakes for those matches as well. So, cool stuff. This point in the show, Lawler's trying to give out cake. We see Kid Wicked leave with a piece of cake, and here comes Dundee out to confront him. And he's like, this is just like you, Lawler. You don't take anything serious. This is a joke to you. Well, it's not a joke to me. And they're getting ready to square off in the main event just very, very shortly. Coming out of that, we get another pre-tape promo like the Cornette one, this time from the Rock and Roll Express. And they kind of talk about their history in Memphis, and they promise eventually they're going to be a part of Power Pro moving forward. And then we get a fun pre-tape segment. Apparently he was booked, I guess, for the WWF, but they did manage to get Brian Christopher on tape, which is one of the bigger stars from Memphis you could have on television. You don't want to.
Who did you say, Corey?
Brian Christopher.
Great guy. Hey, all right. I love the new desk.
Dave!
Hey, Brian,
It's been a long time. What are you doing, Dave?
Well, we're just getting ready for the new show here.
We're getting ready for the show. Well, I'm here for the show.
Well, no, well, it's not.
Come on, Dave.
It's Saturday. It's live. It's tomorrow.
I know, but I called Randy Hales, left a message. I emailed you. I called Jerry Lawler. I told him I wanted to move it today, Friday. Have a show today.
But we can't do that.
Why not?
Well, because it's got to be live. And if we did it today, we'd have to tape it and play it back and all that. We can't. We got a crowd coming in.
Dave, we got the desk. We got you. We got me. What more do we need?
No,
we need a ring. Where's the ring?
The ring's not
Where's the
here.
ring?
That's part of the problem. Part of the problem. Can't do it today.
Hey, guys, we can have a show today. Don't you think? Go out on Union, get the crowd in here.
Come on, guys.
Yeah, we get the crowd in here. We get the ring set up. We could wrestle, maybe.
You know we can't. No, we can't do it.
Oh, come on, Dave.
I know you got a booking. I know you got, and I think the fans will be very proud of you. You're going to honor that booking, and I'm sorry you can't be. Everybody wants to be a part of the first show here. There's no doubt about it. And Power Pro is ready to roll here on TV.
Well, I'll tell you what. I got my address book here with all my bookings, and what about next week?
Next week, 25th. Love to have you.
I'm off. I'll be here, Dave.
Not anymore.
You gonna be here?
I'll be here.
I can't wait. I can't wait to see everybody because I'm here. Power Pro's here. Wrestling's back, Dave.
Next week, Brian Christopher. Yeah.
We managed to get Brian on the show, even though he wasn't available, and he even got completely dressed out to come out there for that bit with Dave. So that's some dedication. How much of the Memphis version of Brian Christopher did you get to see, Rob?
Only in what I've seen in USWA. Not very much. Just I've never seen anything from Brian Christopher that was live on a television screen, except for when he was doing the Too Cool stuff and all that. And I was really a fan of Jesse James, Road Dogg, and Billy Gunn. And I was a fan of Too Cool. I love the worm and the gimmick thing. I like that stuff.
Right.
And I did not know that was Jerry Lawler's son for a long time. I didn't know that was Jerry Lawler's son until the Doug Gilbert thing that I saw on YouTube.
I got you. DT, what do you think of Brian here?
We'll have to wait. I have a Brian Christopher story about him showing up in complete gimmick somewhere. We'll save that story. But I love this. I love that he was in gimmick here.
I like
really
it.
Do. He shows up, like I'm ready to, and it's not even time for. Hey, you got to put him on the show. And when I was doing the news site, his ratings when he was on, even for old WWE matches, he was the man when it came to the ratings, especially in that last incarnation. What was it, Jerry Lawler's Memphis Wrestling or something?
Yeah.
No one was watching it, but when they were watching it, they were watching Brian Christopher. So I would have got him on here too.
The two of you knew him personally, and so
no, not very much. I knew of him, and I was in the dressing room with him.
Yeah, I worked shows with him quite a few times. I can't claim to know him.
No,
was he the same? Was he the same in the back as he is in the front? It seems to me that's just his natural personality.
Mm-hmm.
Like this interview right here. Very, hey Dave, I'm here, Dave. I'm loving it, Dave. Hey, hook me up, Dave. He seems like he's just a jolly kind of kid.
He could turn that on to mess with somebody. Like that was his personality. Like, you know how we all have like your personality when you're at a party or you maybe had a few or something like that. That's just Brian like ramped up. And this is from me talking to people who did know him well for several years, that, he could be quiet and laid back and real, almost shy at times, but when he wanted to push somebody's buttons, it's that same guy you saw on TV if he wanted to get a rise out of you type thing.
I don't care what your feelings are about him, personally, professionally, whatever. It is a damn shame what happened to him.
Damn shame. Yeah.
And that's the only way I can put it. It's a damn shame what happened to him. So,
yeah, very, very unfortunate. I think he could be involved in the business in some meaningful way.
Some capacity. Yes, in some capacity. I mean,
somebody else that it's a shame he's no longer with us is coming up next. And we've been showing a lot of his stuff on the USWA show recently just because I've always found him entertaining. Let's see Billy Joe Travis. He's going to be wrestling Ashley Hudson here, and we'll talk a little bit about it on the other side.
Right now, here's somebody, boy, I hope he doesn't have his guitar with him as he does. Oh, he does. It's Billy Joe Travis out of Lexington, Kentucky. He's got the guitar in hand. All decked out in his finery. And
everybody, listen to this. Old Billy Joe's got a song. He goes, happy days are here again. I wrote it back in 1974. Happy days are here again.
all right, I'm going to have to stop you right there, Billy. Thank you very much for that. Now let's talk a little bit about the action that's coming up. You've got a match. Ashley Hudson coming in right now. Getting a victory here today goes Ashley Hudson back up on the apron. Billy Joe Travis gets him into the ring. He tries to go for the sunset flip, but can't do it. Billy Joe hanging onto the rope. 2, 3. He got the 3 count. Billy Joe was hanging onto the ropes, but the referee couldn't see it.
Hanging on to the ropes, and he got him with the win over Ashley Hudson.
That's ridiculous. He was all over them ropes in there.
They are really close to the ring. Those fans are really flipping close, man. I just now really noticed that as a deal here. They are really close. What do you do when you're in that close, BT, and you've got to call spots?
You just do. With the crowd, that Memphis crowd is, and I don't know, I've been there at Power Pro, I've been there at Memphis Wrestling. It's one of those things where it's a lot, it sounds loud on television, but it's like 3 to 4 times louder if you're there. It's really tiny. It's really compact. And, you know, they're probably, especially with these matches being really short and everything, they're probably going over some of the stuff before they go out there and being able to, you know, and all you're doing is doing stuff like, you know, like Gene was talking about on one of y'all's other shows, catch a foot, you know, this stuff like that. And they may be talking Carney, who knows, but it is there. You don't hear as much as you think you would, especially with the hitting of the actual sound of the ring. And also everybody around you is, you know, like I said, probably about 3 or 4 times louder than you're hearing on television.
Now, who's this Ashley Hudson, Gene? You got any info on him?
He was a legit Australian guy who I think was he trained by Dundee. BT, do you know anything
him
about
him and one of the guys was a Confederate tag team or something.
Yeah, Corey Williams from Nashville.
Both of them.
Guy.
Yeah, and
they were called
Ashley,
the New South.
Yeah, and I liked him, but he ended up I think he just would not get out of that Nashville area and just run those indies over there. So I liked him, but we don't get to see much of him right here.
Yeah, speaking of not seeing much of him, me and Tony Dabbs did one time, but that'd be a story for Patreon somewhere. Say that for another time and place. Right now, it's main event time. It's the final confrontation ever. This is the last time, BT. Never again.
Last time, brother. Last time.
1998 is where it's all going to wind down here for Jerry Lawler versus Bill Dundee. And I've got the whole match here. We're not going to go ahead and watch the whole match because we're running a little longer on time, I thought. But we'll watch a minute or so of it here and just kind of get a feel for how it started off.
He wants to stay during the match, and that's okay. We'll let him comment because in the ring already, the man arrived to no fanfare. He's taking this very, very seriously. The superstar, Bill Dundee, is already there.
You hear what they're talking about over there? Here comes the King, Jerry Lawler, and he's got a little something with him, Dave. One of the King action figures he's got in his hand.
Oh, goodness.
Jerry, the King of the Lawler.
He needs the microphone. I get it.
Can you get him out there and get
around here?
Idol's got me blocked over here while he's sitting here.
All right, let's see what the King has to say here.
This is very important, Dave. Listen, this is very important. I know Bill thinks this match is important. This is more important. I want to plug a personal appearance. Hey, today at 2 o'clock, I'm going to be at the grand opening of a big Kmart out on White Station and Summer Avenue. Going to have these stalls are impossible to find. Action figures, I'm sorry. And they're going to, whoa, look out. Dundee. Well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to ring the bell. Bill Dundee apparently has gotten fed up with Lawler having not much interest at all, Dave, in this final confrontation match. Isn't that typical between these two suck-ups? Cheap shot cities all the way. I'm really intrigued.
So that's how it all started. Austin Idol comes out. He's going to be on commentary. I noticed earlier, I forgot to mention it, but Jerry Lawler got carried out, not exactly on a throne such as like Randy Savage or King Mabel. It looked like a dirty office chair. He's being carried out. I
didn't even notice that. I went with the throne, and in my mind, that's what it was. So.
If you go back and look at that, it is a office chair that they must have found outside or something. But that's funny, that Dundee dumps him out. Because what made me look so close to the chair is I thought, I bet that was a pain in the ass to get him in that chair and then hoist it up onto their shoulders. Like, that was probably tricky, but they got it done twice in the same show. Dundee dumps him off while he's showing off his doll, which he corrected to be an action figure. And there we go. We're underway. And our first big main event, I may have spoke too soon at the beginning because I said we get some clean finishes here. Well, we get Austin Idol hitting Bill Dundee with a chair. Lawler gets the win in their final confrontation. And now the open contract that Austin Idol had left out there earlier with Dave Brown has now been signed by Bill Dundee. And we have our main event for episode 2 of Power Pro, guys. Next week, we're going to see superstar Bill Dundee against the Universal Heartthrob Austin Idol. What'd you guys think of the show overall? Now, hey, I'm gonna hit BT with something here that he's not prepared for.
All right.
I'm going to tell you this earlier in the week. I think since the would you go to the card and all that from the USWA show doesn't apply, I think we should try it out with maybe you asking what you do for current Memphis wrestling every week, like the hits, the misses. What's the different categories? I'm trying to remember. What all
hits, misses, MVP, what's a happening, and must see. So an OMG moment of the day. So hits would be, I think Randy Hales was a huge hit there. I really do. It coming out made me real enthusiastic about being part of and watching it. Misses, man, I don't know. I didn't dislike anything, but I don't like. It took me a long time to like the WWF version of Jerry Lawler, and this is just goofy. And I believe one of Rob's favorite words is hokey. So that's what my MVP. You know what? I'm gonna give it to Austin Idol because I was so excited to see him on live TV. The OMG for me would be Lawler getting pushed off. I cracked up on that and was not expecting it at all. Must see would have to be the Young Guns match. So, yeah, that's what I would go with.
I can't remember all those, so you're going to have to ask me each
one time. Me too.
Dude, BT's like got that shit. Just bam, bam, bam.
Hey, I've done 268 episodes. I'm working on 269 today. Hits. What was your hits for the week? What was your hit for the week? How about that?
Man, I like that Young Guns match, man. I really like that Young Guns match. There was a lot of action, and it was really good. I like that. I like watching these guys get to be creative.
What about miss? What was the miss?
Billy Joe Travis.
Oh, wow. I get it. MVP? Who'd you give the MVP to?
Randy Hales.
I could see that. And OMG, anything that you said, oh, my God. When
that fucking bump out of the chair. Did you see the way Lawler landed? Lawler landed completely wrong on that bump. Watch the way he comes down. He comes down on his shoulder.
I know.
And it's like, holy shit. And the title goes one way, the mic goes the other. I don't know what all happened there, but man, that was cringy.
And what about must see? Anything you would say people got to see this?
You know, I don't know if there's a must see for me, but you have to watch Randy Hales set it up, Austin Idol go into it to understand kind of where we're going or the culture we're trying to set. So you really have to, if you watch Randy's promo at the beginning, you kind of have to see that to know where this show's going to go, right? This isn't your standard Memphis fare. It's not your WWEF fare. It's kind of a combination of a lot of different things, some old, some new, you know. And I think if you haven't seen Derek King, you really need to watch this guy work. He's definitely a must-see for me. I've never watched him work before. I've been in 3 places where he's been in the dressing room, and I talked to him, and he was extremely nice to me, very kind. But I never watched him work until now.
Man, I need to tell that sometime. The first time I ever met Derek King in a dressing room. Great story. How about you,
I
Gene?
thought you were going to say when you met him in a chat room, but
Come on. Only on the weekends, brother. Only on the
Kayfabe that
weekends.
shit. Kayfabe that shit, Gene. Kayfabe.
All right, Gene, hit. What was your hit
Lord.
of the show?
Hit. Man, it's tough because overall this was a solid show.
It was, right? It's harder than you think to do this.
Because I don't know, a lot of times in the USWA shows it's pretty glaring what was a hit or definitely the misses. Shit.
Can I change my miss, BT?
Yeah.
Paul
Go ahead.
Diamond Spellbinder.
Oh, I love that. Yeah.
Hey,
but I
brother.
like what this-
You already said it. You can't go back. And shit on my match, bro.
There you go, Gene. Thank you.
Put that out, Gene.
What's your hit, Gene? What's your hit, baby?
Oh man.
Austin Idol's interview. I know it was.
No, it really wasn't.
It really wasn't.
It really wasn't.
BT, this makes you think, man. These questions like
does.
this make you think.
Yeah,
'Cause
it's
everything
a
was
little
pretty
different.
consistent.
Yeah, this is a little different because with when I'm working for Memphis Stress, I'm kind of putting over the product. Here I don't have to put over the product, so I may give you the real, kind of, I usually do a miss with somebody losing or something like that. And if someone going over gets an MVP.
Is it easier to start with your miss, Gene, than it is your hit?
Yeah, perhaps. For me, the miss is a portion of Austin Idol's interview where he starts into the whole Randy gave me a blank check and he's paying me so much. Who's the football player he referenced that makes?
Oh yeah, Peyton Manning. He was nobody. He was
Peyton Manning gets paid is paltry.
Peyton was in college at this point.
I know it.
Peyton's in college. He's playing at Tennessee at this point.
Yep.
Peyton still was making more money at college at Tennessee than Austin Idol got paid to be on Power Pro.
There is no doubt.
Exactly.
There's no doubt.
I think there's a certain level of work, and then there's a line you cross where it's so absurd, it's just eye rolling. Because when he got to that point, he gave me a black check, and I'm like, oh, get the fuck out of here with that.
And honestly, those $10,000 battle rolls and shit like that. I was like, nobody's getting paid $10,000. Dang.
Exactly.
He cashed that $5,000 check.
Well, he did. We do know that. So.
Yeah, I meant to say that after that promo. It's like, is anybody ever going to learn to not give Idol checks? Even though I said I was unsure about this whole heel promo / WWE persona, Lawler got a couple lines in that were really the hits for me. One was talking about Austin Idol no show, and the other was the line at the end where they need to cut the cake, and he goes, "I don't want to ask anybody in here if they got a knife."
Right. Maybe I shouldn't ask this crowd if anybody has a knife.
That's awesome. What's the other categories here?
Let's see, MVP of the show.
MVP of the show for me would be
the Universal Heartthrob, darling.
I'm going to say Dundee just because he played his role well. He didn't stand out real heavy, but just the fact that, hey, he's serious and this match means a lot to him, and he's still being competitive. Where Lawler and Idol just kind of seems like a couple of legends coming here just having some fun and bullshitting around. And
so you think they were phoning it in versus Dundee?
That's the way it looked.
That's the way it come off, and I know that was by design. But I just think when I watched, if I watched the Lawler and Idol promos with somebody, I would have to preface it by saying, "No, hey, this ain't their prime. Their old promos was a lot better than this. They're just kind of dicking around here."
They're
Dundee is pretty straight laced. It's the same Dundee that we're seeing in 91 USWA and his Danny Davis feud and things like that. And I think he's kind of underrated in like what he did in the early Power Pro days. So I think he deserves some love. So that's what I'm going with.
I think
All right, and
Dundee's
what?
overrated,
How about
period.
OMG? It's got to be Lawler falling off that.
Y'all both said that, so I'm going to go with Derek's backdrop into the lights.
Oh, there you go.
Where
there
he
you
almost
go.
went. He almost went out of the frame on the camera because he went so high on that.
And what was your
backdrop.
must see?
It probably just got lumped into something I just said.
Don't matter.
I don't. I mean,
You must see Austin Idol talk about his blank check.
well, you
Maybe.
must if you want to see him. That's all I'll say. He'll be doing John Cena's gimmick pretty soon.
That and with me, I'd always do what's happening. I didn't ask y'all that, but what has happened is just putting over the next week. And with this, it's supposed to be Idol versus Dundee. That's what we're doing in the future. So that's what's happening with that. But
BT,
Fun,
I'm going to
fun.
put you on. BT, I'm going to put you on the spot though.
Oh, God.
I want to ask you always. Every podcast I listen to that you're doing USWA, you've always got some inside tidbit of information or inside tidbit we didn't know. Do you have anything inside on this show or?
I think the
anything
main
inside
thing,
you need to know?
yeah, I think the only thing with the Young Guns, some people don't know about Kevin's little suit. I think that's one of the things that would be inside for people. He bought a muscle suit and he was like, why wouldn't I? And I'm like, it sounds kind of silly. And he's like, well, I don't have muscles. I want to have muscles. So he worked as the Yellow Jacket for a long time and had muscles.
Well,
That's
I'm going to
kinda
tell
the
you what
inside.
gets over. I'll tell you what gets over with me. And Gene, I want to thank you. And I hope you don't mind if I do this, but if you take a look at that right there, I want you to look at the guns that I have, BT, in that ad right there. He gave me.
Thanks,
he
Gene.
gave
I got
me
perfect
guns.
teeth too.
I know, right? So, Gene, thank you. Were you, I could see Gene being the guy that's like, here, Kevin, let me hook you up with some muscles. I'm
There
going
you go.
to build you a suit.
Rob.
I'm
Hooking
going
you
to
up
build
with
you a
some
suit.
muscles.
I'm no Jerry Lawler, but my artist's work is very underrated, as you can see. I do my best. So I guess we'll throw this in at the end of all of them, since it's something people use on a lot of things, and BT's favorite. Overall, this show, thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs in the middle. I mean, I kind of already know this is kind of a gimme on this one, but in the future it may start changing. So
I'll go thumbs up. I have fun, really fun time watching this.
I'm going thumbs up, man. I liked
All
it.
right.
I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. I'll tell you what it didn't feel like to me. It didn't feel like an agenda-based show, meaning we're not building around some main event and everything's about that. And, there's not a lot of angles and storylines going on yet. So I'm kind of in fresh. I feel like I'm in at the bottom level and nobody's smarter than me at this point about this show. And Gene almost forgot something.
Stop, hold the phone, stop the presses. Wait a damn minute. I made a mistake. Much like you, I need to change one of my answers, and I don't think this is going to upset Dale. Is that if we're in court right now? Is that allowed, Judge? Was that allowed?
Hang on, we'll ask His Honor Reggie B. Trammell.
Oh yeah, go ahead. What you changing? I got to hear what you're changing now.
Judge Trammell, would it be okay? My client wants to go back and file an errata sheet at this point and change an answer he gave. Would it be?
Don't
would it
say
be
erotic. We're going to be erotic.
I'm known for those sheets. That's a way inside joke there,
Mr. Jackson, you would like to change your answer to the which question?
MVP.
MVP you previously gave to.
I don't even remember. That's how much.
I don't either.
Your previous answer was.
I think it was Dundee.
Okay, it was Dundee, and I was about to question you on it, but go ahead.
All right, MVP for me, and spoiler alert, it may be more than 1 week. Carl Macklin in there. That's the MVP of the show. He made the whole even with his wrong name on the screen, he still delivered on Power Pro Wrestling, and they should have had him there with Brian Christopher, because Dave Brown wasn't going to wrestle Brian Christopher. Corey, if it's the same Corey that was on Rhythm and Brews Memphis Wrestling, he took that cut off and said, "Let's go, motherfucker."
He would have took that baseball bat out. Yeah, he was a star, Rhythm and Brews. So
I am going to, from here on out, call him Corey McLean. I'm just letting you guys know. Ladies and gentlemen from Memphis, Tennessee, please welcome advertising executive Corey McLean.
I want the old Robbie ass in there. All right, we spent an hour and 20 minutes reviewing a show that lasted 60. So I think it's time to take it home. Any final thoughts, Rob? Because we know BT will have one final thing to say before this ends.
Thank you. All of us that watch us, if one person watches this show and you enjoy it and you get some enjoyment in your life out of this, and this enables you to escape reality, whatever that is. We all have issues. We all have problems. We all have things in life. But if this gives you the ability to escape for an hour and a half and just kind of get away from the world and everything going on in the world, then we have done our jobs, and we thank you. We thank you so much.
Damn, Rob,
I
couldn't have said it any better.
And I want to thank.
I had a shitty morning, so thanks everybody for letting me have an hour and a half. So,
I want to thank Gene and BT, you guys, for bringing me on this show. I get a chance to do something not a lot of people get to do. I get to watch a brand new show and review it with guys who are around it, in it, near it, adjacent to it, and that just, to me, I'm honored and humbled to be here. And thank you guys so much for letting me do this. So thank you, the fans, and thank you too for letting me do this with you.
Hey, if you enjoyed the show, please go follow our Facebook page, the Retro Wrestling Review Podcasts. Leave a comment, what you liked or what you didn't like, what you'd like to see us do different, or if you just straight up love it, or give us your opinions on the show. If you're a thumbs up or a thumbs down, or if you think somebody else should have been the MVP besides Corey Macklin, I'll fight you over it, but we'll have some fun in the process. So
did BT have a final thought?
Yes, I do. I love my mama.
See you next week. Remember, 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. We'll be here streaming, and you can join us if you're listening to this beforehand. You can join me and Rob live Sunday night, the 19th at 8 p.m. Central. BT may even jump in there. Who knows?
You never know. I might do a run-in. So
who knows who's going to be there? We hope you are. See you next time.
I booked BT, but he no-showed.